Hello, Internet. It is I, the Malik Aaron, and welcome back to Box Office Predictions. Today, we're going to be talking about The Forge. So, as usual, we're going to be going over the pros and cons. So, let's get to it. Pros. Okay, so this movie is made by the Kendrick brothers. It says here, the creators of War Room, Overcomer, and Courageous. So, let's talk about them. So, let's go to Alex Kendrick. So the Kendricks, they are known for making, faith-based movies. They're pretty well known in that genre. The first movie that's listed here is Facing the Giants, which only made like $10 million, which doesn't seem like a lot at all. But the movie only cost like 100,000, so it very much made back its investment. Not to mention, it got some nice DVD sales too. And then the next two movies, Fireproof and Courageous, were nice little sleeper hits that found an audience and did well for themselves. It helped that they were super low budget. Like Fireproof was like less than half a mil to make, and then Courageous was only like $2 million. So yeah, it's real easy to get profit when your budget is this low. But their big movie came out in 2015, that movie being War Room. This came out at the very end of summer 2015. The box office was very much dead at this point. So it felt like, you know, there's going to be nothing out there that was going to like pop off at this point. Straight Outta Compton was summer's last gasp. And then after that, it was just nothing but flops and, forgotten failures. War Room was not one of those movies, okay? It opened with like 11 million and only like a little over 1,000 theaters. So it got a 10K per theater average. That's really good. And it's next weekend, it was ended up being number one. I believe it's the only Kendrick Brothers movie yeah, it is. Their only movie to hit number one at the box office. So that's, bragging rights for them. And yeah, it ended up making 67 million domestically, 74 million worldwide on a budget of like 3 million. So yeah, nice little hit right here. There's definitely the definition of a sleeper hit. In 2019, they made Overcomer, which, didn't do nearly as well as War Room, made about half as much, but it didn't matter. Still made like 34 million domestically, 38 million worldwide on a budget of 5 million. That's still a nice amount. So, yeah. Now, obviously, there was like Show Me the Father, which was like a documentary, but no one gave a damn about it, as you can see. Life Mark, no one really cared about that too much either. Well, although that really wasn't them. Was it? I think. Was it made by them? No. I mean, they were involved, but they didn't make the movie. So not really gonna count that. But when it comes to the movies they have made, their track record is pretty good, box office wise. So the Kendrick brothers in like the faith based spear, um, they're rock solid in terms of box office. So gotta label that as a pro. Another pro is that this movie is directly linked to War Room, and I already discussed how much that movie became like a big like sleeper hit. So being attached to a movie that had a fairly significant audience, I'd say that's a good thing. But it's also like a con to that. But I'll go over the con to that later. But being connected to a successful movie, that's a pro. Um, Another pro is that, competition is just non-existent. This weekend is just so bland and uninteresting. There's no faith-based movies around anywhere, so that definitely gives this movie an advantage to find itself an audience. So, yeah, lack of direct competition, that's definitely a pro. Uh, okay, I think that's it with pros. But I'm not gonna label this as a pro or a con, but like the faith-based genre is very just all over the place when it comes to box office. It gets real annoying after a while because sometimes a faith-based movie can like really like pop off, can really do well. Say like last year with Jesus Revolution, that did pretty, you know, that did real nice. You have like a movie like that, or like a movie like I don't know, like I guess Breakthrough, Overcomer. I Can Only Imagine was a big one. Like The Shack, Miracles from Heaven, War Room, Heaven is for Real, God's Not Dead, The Son of God, Courageous. Movies like that. The Passion of the Christ, obviously. So yeah, faith-based movies can do really well, but sometimes they just don't, and they go completely unnoticed. So like The Firing Squad, no one out there knew or cared about that movie. So yeah, the box office is real erratic when it comes to that genre. So that makes predicting movies that are of that genre very difficult. So I'm not gonna label it as a pro, but I'm not labeling it as a con either. What I will say is a con is the fact that apparently this is a spin-off to War Room, so that's that direct connection. Now, I said it's a good thing because War Room was a success, but here's the thing, bruh, it's been 9 years, damn near a decade, since the first movie released, and it's just like, why even bother? I mean, I know what you're gonna say. Well, Inside Out 2, there was a 9 year gap between those movies. Yes, that's true. But Inside Out was one of the biggest hits of 2015. Okay. And, it's a widely loved and widely, I guess visible movie. It helps that the movie is like hella marketable. Like War Room was just like the little movie that could, but then eventually everyone just like forgot about it over time. It wasn't like this phenomenon or like this big moment in movie history. It wasn't that at all. It was just a little movie that found an audience, and then that was it. So, yeah, that 9 year gap, I think that's more detrimental for this when compared to, say, Inside Out 2. So, yeah, the 9 year gap between like this and War Room, I would label that as a con. Oh, I forgot to mention another pro. My bad. It's an audience score. Well, there's no critic score. I don't think it would even matter in this case. Um, its audience score is a 100%. Yeah, and its cinema score is an A plus, which doesn't shock me at all. Not in the slightest, because for faith-based films, it's real easy to earn like an A plus. It doesn't take a whole lot of effort. You just gotta say Jesus and God enough times to where that audience, you know, they just like they don't even like really think about it. They just clap. They're just like, that's that's just how it is. Look, I'm not saying all faith-based movies are terrible, okay? But a good amount of them are. Let's be real, okay? Let's be objectively here. Faith-based movies, a decent amount of them are some of the most low budget, low effort schlock out there. They don't even try. They don't even like try to be like, say, like grand or epic or like be like really strong. It's just there's no real effort there. It's basically, and it doesn't help that a lot of them are like hella preachy. They basically preaching to the choir. So they just, for me, like I used to like watch a decent amount of these movies. Like I went to like a Christian private school, okay? So I know all about this genre. And after a while, like these movies, they just kind of put a bad taste in my mouth. Especially God's Not Dead. Like that movie is fucking weird when you really look at it. And just there's a lot of stuff that really rubbed me the wrong way about it. But we're not here to talk about God's Not Dead. Really, we're talking about the. I know we're talking about The Forge, but yeah, these faith based movies getting like A pluses, it doesn't shock me in the slightest because again, this audience is very easy to please as long as you basically deliver the message in a way that the audience wants to hear, even if it is like hella ham fisted. That's all that matters. So yeah, but still an A plus and that 100% audience score. That's obviously a pro. I'm trying to think of some other cons. I guess I can mention how this summer is over. The box office, the momentum we got like from June to last weekend, it's over. It's over. Summer ended with Alien Romulus, pretty much. And so we're just in that period of time where everything's just dead, which is not great. So that's a con, obviously. I guess another con, I guess. Well, not really a con. It's not like middle ground. It has like 600,000 in previews. That's not terrible for a movie like this. I wasn't expected to make like 6 million or something, but it's not exactly a barn burner. So it's just kind of. I'm not gonna label it as a pro or a con in this case. I mean, comparatively, it's a lot better than The Crow. I'll tell you that. Even though The Crow did better, The Forge cost about like a tenth of what The Crow did, so it looks a lot better in comparison. But yeah, it's preview number. I'm just gonna have that be like middle ground, and I think that's it. So opening weekend, okay. Let's compare this to the last two major like Kendrick brother movies. Oh, there's Overcomer, which came out literally around the same time. The same day. Damn, look at that. Same exact day. Okay, that's the perfect comparison. But let's add War Room too while we're at it. Okay. So Overcomer opened with 8 million, War Room 11 million. I don't think Overcomer had any previews. I doubt it. I did. 775K. Alright, so this is quite noticeably worse than that. War Room, I don't think that had preview numbers at all. Oh, it did 600K, which is the exact amount that The Forge has. Do I think it'll have the same multiplier? I don't think so. That's not how sequels work, or spin offs, or follow ups work. So, I guess 5 to 10 million. I wouldn't be surprised if this overperformed a bit. It maybe I think 10 million is too much of a stretch. I'm gonna say like maybe 6, 7, 8 million. I don't. Yeah, I feel like it'll hit that, and then its total. I see this having better legs than the other two movies coming out this weekend. I don't think the legs will be as long as say War Room, but I don't know, 20, 30 million perhaps, maybe higher. Who knows? But that's what I'm going with. And that's the end of the weekend. Okay. Yeah, very boring weekend. And guess what? Things get even worse next weekend because not only is it boring, but there are twice as many movies opening that I have to talk about, which is going to kill me making all these videos. But I'm still gonna do them. But yeah, we have way too many movies coming out next weekend. No one cares about any of these things. It's gonna be miserable. So stay tuned for said misery. But yeah, that'll be next week. But Yeah, so that's it. That's all. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, share the whole drill. Check out more videos like this. Got playlists on the homepage, all previous prediction videos I made this year, the past few years. Want to watch any of those videos, go right ahead. There's also the canceled series where, for 250 episodes, went over all the movies that were supposed to come out but didn't. Never talked about The Forge once. I've made so yeah. You want to binge the series? You want to watch it from like beginning to end? I highly encourage you to do that. So go do it. There's also box office recaps where I go over the box office results for any particular month. August recap that will be September between the 6th and the 13th of September. And my summer recap will be the two-parter, winners and losers. That will be the end of September. So stay tuned for those videos. But if you want to watch any of the past recap videos I made on the channel, go right ahead. And yeah, that's it. That's all. I am out. Goodbye.